Hi guys, Mons here again. So the third matchup I'm going to be going through in detail is going to be Rockets and the Warriors. I think this is a fascinating matchup simply because Rockets are up and coming young team, fresh, young. They're gonna get physical with you. They're gonna play tough. They have a very tough coach as well in Ime Udoka. He takes no crap. And also just the way the Rockets have built their roster in the last maybe 1 or 2 off season has been very very good. I think Ime Udoka as well is a candidate for Coach of the Year. He's done a fantastic job with the Rockets this year. So let's get into it in terms of the key matchup and what I think could sway this matchup in one way or another. So, for example, the Warriors team, like we all know what the Warriors are. They're a veteran team. Curry, once in a lifetime player, a player that has completely changed the NBA. Probably second most influential player in the NBA after Michael Jordan. Once in a lifetime player, generational player, everything. It's just Curry. Curry is just an amazing player. Um, and also, obviously, you have players like Draymond Green. And Draymond Green is not everyone's cup of tea. Sometimes when you watch him, just irritates the life out of you. But you would rather have him on your team than have him play against you, to be completely honest with you. His defense is just amazing. When Draymond Green is on it, defensively, his communication, you can even hear him through the TV. His communication on that team is second to none. His defensive plays, just the way he cuts off angles for other players, gets in their faces, stand them off. I know what's funny. I think Dylan Brooks is very similar to Draymond Green. That's why they probably hate each other so much. Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks are just two very similar players. But I believe, obviously nowadays, I think Dylan Brooks is a better offensive player than Draymond Green. But defensively, they get in your face. They don't care what the matchup is. They always pick up the opponent best matchup, opponent's the opposition team best player. And I like both of them as a player, but obviously sometimes they annoy you. But however, I'd rather have them on my team than have them play against me. So I remember the last matchup with the in the regular season a couple of weeks ago with the Rockets and Warriors. The Rockets held Steph Curry to 8 points, which is which I think could be an outlier basically, because the way the Rockets played that night was just ridiculous. They were leaving inside Steph Curry's jersey. That didn't give me room to breathe. With Steph Curry, what I have noticed over the past watching him over this past his career is he struggles when he has a younger matchup, a player that's long, physical, and can stay with him. Because Curry's gonna run off screens. He's literally gonna run all day. Like the guy doesn't stop running. He's gonna run off screens, pass, pop it off, get in the 3 point line and shoot. So I remember the last matchup with the Rockets, they literally got in his face, stayed in his jersey. Whenever he's running off screen, whenever Rockets are passing on to another players, they're all young and athletic players. So they basically matched up with Steph Curry and he only got 8 points. I remember Steph was saying how physical it was that day and the coaches were complaining and how physical they were with Steph. But that's the way playoffs going to be. Like Steph is used to it by now. Like so, I expect him to be more accustomed to it. So before the trade deadline, what the Warriors did was they initiated a trade for they acquired Jimmy Butler in a trade, which I believe rejuvenated Steph Curry because he knew the organization had his back and they were making all the moves, making all the right moves to win now. I believe when you have a once in a lifetime, a generational player like Steph, LeBron, Luca, KD, you have to make no matter you have to make the trade, you have to make the play to go all in. Like Jokic, all the time, you have to make the play and go all in and try and win as much championship. You squeeze as much championship as you can from those players when they're in their prime, because those players only come around maybe once every 15 to 20 years. So when you have one of those players in your organization, squeeze every bit of championship as you can from them by making the correct moves, making win now trades. The future will worry about itself. You can get drafted. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it frustrates me so much last couple of years with Lakers when they haven't made a big trade. But obviously we got Luka, so I'm happy with that now. However, let's go. Let's get back to the Rockets and Warriors. So in this matchup, I worry for the Rockets a little bit simply because I think watching them in the past couple of months in the regular season, Jalen Green is their first offensive option, if I'm correct. With Jalen Green, he's a very good young player, clearly talented young player. He has his offensive bag is ridiculous. Shoot trees, gets the rack, is amazing. What I would say is I have seen him in a late game situation when they need a bucket. The coach sitting him down, which I think is a bit strange if you're sitting down your best offensive weapon late in games. So that could be a problem for the Rockets, in my opinion. Obviously, young players in the playoffs are very, very inconsistent as well. So I think Fred VanVleet has to be. He's the leader of this team, so he has to be very vocal. He has to lead on and off the court. He needs to initiate plays. I think Fred VanVleet is a previous champion in Toronto with Kawhi. He needs to initiate plays. Fred VanVleet has to be the guy to get the ball, pass it off, get it back, initiate plays for the others, and be a leader on the court and off the court. If not, I believe Warriors could overpower this Rockets team in terms of Warriors having veterans that are used to the playoff. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Steve Kerr, the coach of the Warriors as well. My worry for Warriors in this series is Warriors are a relatively small team. They're not a very physical team either. I know Draymond Green backs up players. He's probably him and Jimmy Butler actually are probably in terms of being physical, probably the most physical players for the Warriors. So what I would say, the Warriors always play small. The Rockets, they have a center in Şengün. I think he probably will be one of the best centers in the league in about 3 to 5 years time. I think he's an unbelievable player. He's very similar to Jokic in regards to he can score, he can rebound, but he can also assist and initiate offense as well, which would be very, very good help for Fred VanVleet. He doesn't always have to initiate the offense. I think Şengün can also do that as well. That's what I like about Şengün. I think he's basically a mini Jokic, and I think in the next 3 to 5 years, I think it's going to be very, 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 very good. So basically, Jimmy Butler's experience in this playoff is going to be very vital for Steph, because Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, as I call him, last couple of years when he has been healthy, I remember in the bubble he brought his Heat team to the finals against Lakers, and also I remember a couple of years ago he had that phenomenal. I think 2-3 years ago he had that phenomenal playoff run where he matched up against Celtics. He beat them on the floor, and then he also went up against the Bucks. And I remember that Celtic matchup with Jimmy Butler. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. Jimmy Butler just went out of his mind, and against the Bucks as well, completely out of his mind. So I really look forward to this matchup, the key matchup: Jalen Green, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Fred VanVleet, Şengün. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Rockets are a very young athletic team. That will cause a lot of problem for Warriors in transition. And also, I think in this game, offensive rebound is going to play a big part. Şengün will get you rebounds, but I think Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, they're super important in this series. I know I keep banging on about both, but they're super important in this series defensively, and also getting you offensive rebounds to get second chance points, and also defensive rebounds as well. It's going to be a very physical matchup. I honestly cannot see Draymond Green and Dylan Brooks last in the whole series without one of them being tossed out. 100%. One of them is definitely getting tossed out again because they both hate each other. They're both very similar players, but they both hate each other. So I guarantee one of them is definitely going to get tossed out in this series without a doubt. Like you can put your literally you might as well just jot it down. You might as well book it down. The one of them is definitely going to get thrown out with this series. So for my prediction this series, what I will do is, I think Rockets are the favorites, but in my head, I think Warriors beat them in 6 games. Just because their experience. You have Steph Curry, you have Jimmy Butler, you have Draymond Green. Whereas with the Rockets, even their first number 1 scoring option, Jalen Green, is up and down as a young player. Like the Rockets' time will come. They're a very, very good young team, athletic young team. But their time will come. But I believe Steph Curry will lead his team past the Rockets in 6 games. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, drop a comment below if you agree with me, disagree with me. I'm always open to having an open discussion about basketball.